Hey everybody, welcome back to Aramore. So as you can see, we've been working on a neighborhood, really a district next to the hotel that we built a while ago, and this is on the other side of the island from where we've been working as of late. So yeah, we just built a little district that's got a lot of mixed zoning and stuff, so that was pretty cool. And the main portion of the episode begins now, though. We're going to be working on a huge shopping center, completely American style, I guess, going for the River Park Shopping Center assets from the workshop. These are great for one reason in particular. There really is a huge variety of brands in this pack, so definitely check this out, because I wanted to build a huge shopping center, and this was my best option because of just the sheer amount of different brands this pack offers. So, yeah, I don't know, I'll probably make some other shopping centers as we move forward with other assets, but this in particular is great. Just, once again, tons of different brands, and one issue is a lot of the buildings include parking, which is really annoying, but I worked around it. It's not perfect, but you don't really notice it too much, so... And right now I'm working with curbs around one of these detached fast food joints, and I'm trying to get a clean looking parking lot to work. I'm just using some simple parking assets from the workshop. I'm trying to get some tiling to work, didn't work out too well. So in a moment here, we're going to work on, I guess, the drive-through area for the bank over here. So what you're seeing right now doesn't actually stick. We end up changing to a completely different concept with barrier props and stuff rather than the yellow lines. So yeah, you'll see that in just a moment, but I tried using the yellow lines. It just didn't work out too well, and in a moment we're gonna add some ploppable asphalt as well. So right now the whole parking lot is just pavement, and I was actually planning on doing that, just having the whole parking lot for this place be pavement, but I decided to just switch it over to ploppable asphalt because it just looks so much better, and it matches the parking lots in surrounding areas. Like the huge Home Depot parking lot right near it is just ploppable asphalt, so I wanted to match that, and it looks great from above, and I don't know. So did that, and just trying to fill that out right now and transition by the entrance over here. So one thing you see me doing right here is I'm using these prefab blocks to make some sidewalks, because yeah, we didn't exactly have sidewalks there, so I wanted to do that to have a contrast with the asphalt. So I know at this point, as I'm recording this, the workshop, or well, King Leno has put some sidewalk curbs on the workshop that are specifically meant for that, but that was not there at the time I recorded this. This is pre-recorded by a couple of weeks, so yeah, I'm not even going to switch, because I actually like how the prefabs look, the prefab blocks, so yeah, I don't know, I think those look fine, and the sidewalks, the sidewalk curb props in the workshop would look a little bit shorter. I don't know, I think these work fine though, so I'm not going to switch. So anyway, filling in the curbs with this meadow grass and little conifers and stuff. And you see I combined a bunch of the sign assets together to make a taller sign right there earlier. But I didn't include that on camera because later on we're actually going to replace that with some different brands, because that's actually the main entrance. I didn't realize that right there was going to be the main entrance, but that is the main entrance, and I decided to change the brand so that they were the, I guess, the largest brands in the complex, because those were just the ones that were near that entrance. So yeah, right now we're placing a Lowe's, a Safeway, and you see all these parking spots here. Just trying, it's a very rough draft of what this is going to look like. We got that corner shopping center. One thing, well, it's a supermarket, and one thing is there are a lot of supermarkets in this shopping center, which is, I don't know, I think we've got 2 or 3, but I don't know. I don't know if that's completely realistic, but it's fine. We don't have too many options because many of the larger buildings are supermarkets. Right now I'm experimenting over here. Just sort of ignore what I'm doing right now because it does change a lot. You see I placed a Gander Mountain over there. I figure definitely in this city there would be a Gander Mountain location considering it's an outdoor store. And obviously this is the Pacific Northwest. Lots of mountains and parks to explore. So yeah, we got that corner building and Radio Shack and stuff like that. I do extend the parking into that little square that you see over there. Right now I'm filling in this block. This is about what it stays like. Yeah, I guess I finished that off camera, but right now I'm trying to add some curbs to the parking lot area and just trying to figure out how that's going to work. I didn't leave... You'll see in a moment. I don't leave the smaller spaces in between the parking lots untouched. I actually add some tiling and stuff. But you'll see when the time comes. But right now I'm just filling the whole area with ploppable asphalt. So my asphalt texture is a lot more neutral now. It's not too bright, not too dark. It's, I guess, I don't know. I'm using the Clara asphalt texture, so it's a little bit darker than normal, but I don't know, I think this is pretty good. And it, like, looks way better once you actually add some decals and stuff, so... Now I'm just doing the robotic work of filling the whole area with ploppable asphalt and just adding a sidewalk there in front of that store and just copy pasting the sidewalks over here. So right now the asphalt looks pretty plain. Later on I'm going to add a bunch of decals. I use a lot of the stains decals. I use the road wear decals and that worked out pretty well. Just trying to once again fill in the sidewalk area over here with the prefab blocks and fill in little spots I might have missed with the ploppable asphalt. Now I'm going to fill the rest of the parking lot with that. And yeah, so right now I'm trying to work around the fronts, I guess, of these larger stores. So, you know, once again, I'm using the concrete, and those parking spots are just so annoying. It's really the most annoying thing about this building pack is just the parking spots, like parking spots right in front of that huge store. So that was really, really annoying to deal with. What I ended up doing is I just turned them into handicapped spots off camera. Like placed some of the handicapped signs and decals and stuff. Because that's the only thing I could really do there. It's just really annoying that they're there in the first place. So, yeah. Right now I'm working over here at this gym to try to... because there was a rounded entrance, I decided to continue the sidewalk, obviously, but I couldn't really curve it, so I made it expand outwards. So now I'm trying to fill the curbs here. I used the I used these ultra low poly trees by Pedelmo. Those worked perfectly here, and they're nice and colorful. They work really well for a nice filler there. Copy pasted them around the whole complex. Now I'm working with this little thing I made, which is using some of these concrete tile things by King Leno and some curbs just for little areas in between the parking spots. And I'm only doing those for certain ones because there are also other ones that I just added curbs to, and we'll add the leafy garden fillers by Pedelmo. I didn't want to leave those smaller spots open because there were some weird little gaps in the parking asset I used. But, yeah, that worked out okay. And now we're gonna, once again, build that sign with the main brands here. So, yeah, this was actually really annoying because I don't actually have the transparent selectors mod anymore. I really want to grab that again because I realized how useful it is. Because it's really, really annoying because I can't exactly see the exact edges of these signs. So it's pretty hard to elevate them properly. And anyway, so now we're on to something different. We're working on, I placed some hatched markings over there, doing some various decal work around here. I decided not to go overboard with the stains decals because I've noticed that just makes the parking lots look a little bit too worn. Like in one of the last episodes, somebody commented that, and I sort of agree. But they were commenting that about a district that was really not supposed to be very nice. It was probably the worst parts, one of the worst parts of town. So I'm not too worried about that being very, very worn down. But here, I don't want to go too crazy, but yeah, I don't know. I just combined those with the road wear decals, and that worked out okay. So, anyway, now we are just continuing with that. I think we're going to start working on the back lot for the Gander Mountain, which is completely detached from all of the other buildings. So this is like its own back lot. All of the smaller stores don't actually have back lots, which is sort of a bummer, but not too bothered by it. I just couldn't really fit one for those, and many of them are just back to back, so obviously I'm not going to be able to do anything for that. So I just gave the bigger stores back lots. Like there are 2 back lots. This is one of them just for the Gander Mountain, and then there's one for the rest, the Lowe's and everything. So once again, using the same combination of decals, just the tire marks, the stains, and the road wear. Adding some propane tanks there because I saw them in the asset menu, and just containers and stuff. And yeah, I didn't want to go too overboard with piles of junk in this back lot, but sort of added a bunch of those and pipes and stuff. Pretty similar to many of the back lots I've been doing. And you see, I found this like platform asset I had that was not meant to be used for what I used it for. So I don't even think it's like a platform asset, but it worked like that. I just placed it like the tank asset, the tank prop on top of that, and that looked pretty cool. So now trying to get a little intersection to work here. So this area, we're just going to fill in with some housing. I'm using some of the Bronx housing. So I've been using this a lot recently, and this Bronx housing is just incredible. We've needed houses like this forever. And now you see I'm adding some King Meadow public housing and various other stuff. And yeah, not trying to make this a very good neighborhood over here, but yeah, just once again, you gotta grab that Bronx housing, and you see this Bronx shop I just placed. It's just so nice. It's really well done. Triangles are well balanced. Everything is great, and the models are just absolutely incredible. Tons of variety. So it's exactly what we needed, because we didn't have anything like that on the workshop before, and then those came about. So now I'm placing some broken fences, and you can see the grass texture right now is I'm using a different grass texture. This doesn't actually stick, it's a different color, and I decided to just go back to the Starburg deep green grass texture. And also sprites weren't working for me at the time of this recording. So now they're actually working, but I don't know. I think it's something to do with Theme Mixer, but yeah. Anyway. So trying to fill this area, it looked really awkward because I didn't have sprites, so that'll look better once I get the cinematics later of this with the sprites and stuff. But using the fallen leaves to, I guess, have some junk below the fence. Fallen leaves can sort of act as that. And anyway, experimenting with some stuff, just filling in this parking lot. Nothing too fancy. Had a little alleyway there. Didn't do too much with it, just some dirt. Trying to place some of this graffiti here on the walls, but it didn't work incredibly well. It looks great though, the asset. Yeah, place that. Now we're moving back a little bit more towards the shopping center. Still working on a little street in here. This is behind the Home Depot back lot. All these buildings across the street are right next to that. So yeah, adding this iron fence here so we have some sort of fence, and sort of brought it around this little prefab block here, and that worked out well. And just getting rid of the concrete next to the buildings, and filling this in with shrubs and stuff. So over here we're gonna detail a couple of these commercial buildings, and using a bunch of the forest fillers. I've been using those a lot recently. The forest fillers from Pedelmo, which are some of Pedelmo's older assets. They're actually just really nice, low in triangles, and great for filling just an area, transitioning it. And I remember when those came out, it was just, it was crazy because we had nothing like them before. So now, as you can see, I'm actually using ploppable asphalt to fill in these crosswalks, just trying to get rid of the ones that I guess intersect with the parking lots, or well, are created by the intersection there, because I use the concrete roads. I don't know, I might actually also extend yellow lines there, but I don't know. It transitions pretty well though, and I think that worked out great. Just detailing this Pizza Hut here. I really don't like the way that parking works on this asset. I might grab a different version of the asset because I know there are a couple on the workshop that are like reworks of it. So, yeah, now we're working on this gas station. Didn't really detail that too much, just some mud and some skid mark decals. And now we're actually done with the shopping center and the areas surrounding it. Now we're going to move on to a beachside arcade area. So I wanted to include this in the map. I know this is the Pacific Northwest. Not going to have too many people using the beach, but yeah, I don't know. I wanted to include one beach because there are those people who don't really care how cold the water is, and figured I'd include one of these areas because this is on the ocean. This area is a bay, but yeah, so you see those arcade buildings. The thing is, I actually reverse those and rotate them around, so what you're seeing right there with the front of them with the claw machines and stuff actually faces the beach. So there's like just brick facing the road pretty much. I do that off camera later, and you'll see that in the cinematics. So yeah, anyway, I made a boardwalk area work there with the network extensions roads, the wooden roads, and yeah, that was pretty good. And now I am trying to fill in this area over here. So there's actually a ferry stop right there. That's also a bus depot. So that's actually going to be the main bus, well, not bus depot, a bus, it's the main bus stop, I guess, for the city. It's got tons of different stops there, and that's going to be the main one for the whole city later on. I haven't actually made bus lines yet. I want to do that in a couple of episodes once we finish all the infrastructure for the main island. And actually, I might wait until way later. Actually, no, you know, I really want buses on the map, but whatever. I can make lines later for the airport and stuff, but yeah, that's way in the future. Right now, I am just detailing a little fast food joint here, putting in some ploppable asphalt, and yeah, this is really nice because it actually has like cars parked in the drive-thru, which is pretty cool. But really like that asset. Anyway, so using these rock assets here by the beach. I love using these particular ones by the beach. Either these or the river rock assets are always really good. So now I'm detailing this area around the tram stop over here. So this tram stop is one of the terminus areas for a tram line. So it's the end of the tram line, and I actually have a little boardwalk connection, or well, a connection to the boardwalk from the stop itself, which I think is pretty cool. So you can just get on the tram from downtown and just go straight to the beach, which is pretty cool. And yeah, you see I extend that boardwalk out with a curve and stuff. Now we're detailing, or well, we're not detailing quite yet, but we're working on these commercial buildings over here. So I'm using some of the newer ones from the workshop, which I've been using a lot recently. They're just so nice. I forget exactly the name of the person who's been making them, but they're just great. And I had a vanilla pub over there, which is an asset that I think works pretty well there. And I didn't have any other 2x2 assets I could possibly use there, so just went for a vanilla one. But some of the vanilla leisure ones are pretty nice, and there's actually a restaurant that's vanilla I placed over there as well. You'd barely know it's vanilla. It's really nice. But now we're actually working on an area over here with some offices. So I used one of the BB office pack offices, one of the taller ones, and then I believe it's called the Crescent Center by King Leno, or maybe that's the other one that's the same model. I don't know, whatever. It's by King Leno, and it's great. It's got like a little plaza included that's very, very rough. Or not rough as in it doesn't have anything done there. It's just a rough sketch of what you might want to do, but it leaves so many possibilities open, so you can detail it your own way, really. So I added a bunch of wall rocks around there, and it's just got curbs and benches and tables and stuff already, which is just really convenient, but it's not like really badly done or anything. It's just a perfect base for anything you want to do. So I just decided to add some bushes in the curbs and make the whole floor area cobble. And right here I'm going to actually try to add some flowers that are just some of these tiny flower bushes by Podomo. I haven't been using them too much. I want to do some more micro detailing with flowers in the future, because I haven't been doing that too much. We haven't had too many assets that I like that are really small like this, but that was a perfect spot to do that, and it really looks great. So now we're actually working with some of these mulch decals. And yeah, these mulch decals by King Leno are just great for a corporate office area like this. Just want to make it look really, really polished, and these are really dark, new mulch looking decals. And I placed some of these pines right here, the spruces, and yeah, they looked great. I also lined the building with some of the evergreen looking bushes. I don't know. Just by the colors, I guess. I don't exactly know what they're called, but yeah, now we're working on the parking areas. The parking area is a little bit more rough. I'm using the parking zone, I forget, I think it's called Car Park 8x6, and it's by Matt Crux from the workshop, and it's pretty old, but it's great. I don't know, it's a little bit elevated, so it's sort of annoying unless you detail around it right, but yeah, so I extended a little concrete road over there and added some asphalt. I made it a concrete road rather than just a normal road, just because the concrete road is ground level, this is raised, and a normal road would be sunken. So I wanted to have the smallest drop, I guess, as possible, because there will be some sort of drop, but I don't know. I blended it pretty well, and now we're just adding some mountain grass and stuff around the shoreline. Really trying to detail this area with a bunch of the Padelmo shrubs. These just look so nice when you cluster them together. Just for a general area, it's just great. I've been using them at the shorelines, and once again, it's just so easy to detail shorelines now. You just place a bunch of surface rocks and then this huge mountain grass patch, and that's all you really have to do. You just place some trees. And yeah, I've gotten some suggestions to cut down on my usage of trees, because even though it's obviously very, very wet, it's the Pacific Northwest, so there's lots of greenery, as much as you could possibly ask for. It's a little bit, I've been overdoing it a little bit in areas like the train station and stuff, so I sort of agree with that. I might go back and edit that a little bit later. And once I'm really finished with building all of the developed parts of the map and everything like that, I want to fill in as much of the rest of the map with the mountain grass just as a ground filler as I possibly can before hitting the prop limit. And I want to do that even though it'll hurt the FPS a bunch. I really want to do that because it'll look just so much more realistic if I just fill like the whole map with the mountain grass and shrubs and stuff. So yeah, we're almost done with the video. We're just doing some various things. Right now I am I guess placing some of these lounge chairs and umbrellas at the beach because can't really forget those. To end it off, we're going to be working on a back lot area. This is the main back lot area that we were talking about earlier for the shopping center. Alright, so that's pretty much it from me. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button to never miss an upload. You'll get notified whenever a video goes live. I've been uploading every week recently. I'm trying to get that going again. Right now I'm pre-recording a bunch for the next couple of weeks. Right now this is August 14th as I'm recording this. You're seeing this a while from now, and yeah, I got a lot more pre-recording to do. I'm almost done. We've got some really cool stuff coming out. Next episode we're going to be working on a hospital complex that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a huge hospital complex, and had a lot of fun making that yesterday. Yeah, doing a lot of work on Aramore recently. The FPS has just been absolutely awful, and it's just so hard to work with, but I'm pushing through. I'm really hoping I can finish this series to the end. Yeah, anyway, this episode's cinematics are going to be really awesome. I spent a lot of time working on these. I used LOD Toggler throughout for most of them, and I'm really happy how these turned out. So enjoy the cinematics for this episode, and yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.